Love that. Love that opening. Rory, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, my friend. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I fixed a small bug after we stopped talking yesterday. I will. I think I'm going to kind of get right into it, if you don't mind. Jumping right in. Here we are right here. I'm going to pop this into the chat room right here. There's episode 72 begin. We're on episode 72 today. There it is right there. There's the latest source code that we're going to be working with. There was a small bug with regards to our roller, our scroller. Let me bring it up on screen right here, and I'll demonstrate that the bug appears to be now fixed. Or at least I'm calling it good enough for where we want to be here. So if I type in test scroll in the chat room to test this out and pop it in there, you should see it. I didn't quite see it. Did it slam? I didn't. Let me try again. Yeah, there is the slam. There's the slam. So the slam is there.
Shiny magic, which is good.
Yeah, so it comes in, slams down, pops up. And then if I do test page 2, it'll close up and then open up on page 2.
Very nice.
And then I can go back to...
definitely better than I saw, yes.
Yeah, so it's not bad. If you really look carefully, there's the smallest little problem. But I'm like, you know what? We're good enough for the show. We can, we're going to... It's hard to notice it. And, from the standpoint of the essence, it's so far away, I'm not going to spend any time trying to fix it. But in the process of fixing this, I did do... but anyway, that looks pretty good. It's not bad, right? There's the close and there's the open. Now we have
I cannot see what you're talking about in terms of a problem. So, if that goes for anything, then,
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to notice it. Most of the motion is in the is going to distract from it anyway. So it's the smallest, like I say, it's the smallest little imperceptible problem. I'm not going to tell you if you're not seeing it, but it's no, I don't want to tell you. But it's there. So we need to be able to put data on here, and I want to do that today. Yeah. I want to put data on here, and I don't. And as is kind of traditional in our show, I got no necessarily any plan on how. I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. I have a rough idea, and that's kind of what the show's about almost. It's like, let's go from rough idea to an implementation that works.
Well, the closest thing we've got prior to this was the overlays on the drones and stuff like that. So we need to get a location for the text, the numerics, I guess, in this case.
Yeah.
And obviously font size, stylings, that kind of thing, and output them. Obviously, we've got to source the data from somewhere as well.
Yes.
Or the current values for your characters at this time.
Right. So I'm going to source the data with some a test class instance that I'm going to create. Okay. And in terms of finding out where everything is, what I've done is I've gone through, let's see, where is my... Hold on, I've got so many apps open right now. Let's bring this up right here and bring this over here. What I've done is I've gone into an image editor and I've gone in. I've looked at the particular location. I found the X and Y by using these the numbers in the bottom right of it, right there. There you can. I think you can see them right there and there. So I'm looking at these X and Y. Sorry, these two right here. And so I move this where I want it to be, and I check the X and Y, and I've been writing those down. I haven't gotten all of these yet, but I've got a handful of them to at least test. So I have that, and looks like Will's with us. Test Purple Burst. Will said, and he did all by his lonesome, Roy, because you left. His mom would be proud. Yeah.
Oh, we're all proud of Mark. We're all very impressed.
My hold on, phone call coming in. Oh, it's Mom. Oh yeah, she's proud. Okay, Mom. I told you never call me during the show. All right. So hopefully that'll never happen again. All right. So, but Mom is proud, so that's good. So I've basically gone through and said, okay, what are all these places? And I started with a question, and I actually did some of this coding in my sleep, right? Where you think about a problem where you're kind of sleeping, and you kind of imagine it so detailed that you realize, okay, I think I know what I need. And so I had a sense of what I need, and I kind of started writing it down this morning, and I'll show you that. But the essence of it is I need to know the X and Y position where the data goes. I need to know that, right?
Absolutely.
I need to have the data, but the data is going to be somewhere else. I'm going to put the data in a class, okay? But I need the X and Y position. I need to know what some way of identifying that particular data so I can get it from that class instance, from that instance of the character. So for example, the number that goes here, I'm going to call it level because it's the level of the character. And here I might call this experience points because it's the XP, the experience points of the character. So I need an X, a Y, a name that's like a property name, because what I think I want to do is I want to actually go in and look for a property with that name. I'm pretty sure I can do this in JavaScript where I can say if I give the name of a property like experience points and I've got an instance of an object, it can give me the value. Sure. And it can give me the type of it. So if the type is an int, it's a number, right? If the type is a string, it's a string. If the type is a Boolean, I can fill in a circle. Like if you notice right here, right, your death saves. So when you're unconscious in Dungeons and Dragons, every time you get a chance to do a saving throw, and if you go, I think under 10, it counts as a death. You're basically one step closer to death. And you get 3 of those in a row, or if you get 3 of those before you get 3 life saves, then you're dead, completely dead, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah,
but if
go home.
Yeah, but if you get 3 of the hearts in a row, then you're going to go to you regain consciousness, but you have like 1 hit point or something like that. I'm not an expert on it, but that's the essence of what's going on.
For now, let's do that.
So that's a Boolean. So a Boolean's going to fill that in. Similarly, I might have a Boolean here to say that, hey, I might have, I think this is for proficiency in saving throws, is what these Booleans are here. And so I'm going to need to have these as well. So what I've done is this, is I've gotten all the positions for all this data here, for all the data here, and all the data up here, with the exception of the picture. Character picture is going to be there. We don't have that yet. But in the mock-up, let's see if I can grab that mock-up and get it on screen here real quickly. Here's the mock-up. So here's the mock-up right here, and it looks like this. So when the data's filled out, we're going to see character name here. We're going to see your race and your class, your alignment, and all the other numbers, everything filling out where they should be. And since I've only got the numbers for these right here, then we'll only show these. I added one other piece, which is kind of cool. I added a little progress bar here to essentially give you an overall sense of health. Because one of the other stats is your max hit points. And what I want to do is I don't want to have that number there. I just want to instead have this because I think it's more dramatic. As you get closer to death, it's going to drop down in size and get more saturated, turn more red like that. So that's what I've done with the mock-up here. So I'll give you a sense of what this total is compared to your overall max hit points with this bar. So I'm going to give you a visual sense of that. And that's it. So with that, let's go look at...
So just looking at that graphic, that mock-up that you've got there, Mark, the x-coordinate for the pieces of data, are we picking the central point? So that
yes.
Sort of, as it has multiple digits, it spans in both directions out from there, yeah?
I am doing this, picking the central point with the exception of these two here.
Oh, yeah, that's fair enough.
And with those two, I'm going to say they're left aligned and everything else is going to default to center aligned. Okay, so it'll put it in the center. And I think everything else is going to be, I've noticed I've got some numbers here that are positive, and if they're positive, I need to put a plus in front of them and make them blue. And if they're 0, I need to not draw them at all. And if they're negative, I need to draw a negative. I need to put them in red with a negative sign in front of them. So this is a special formatting kind of here that I'll have to support as well.
Uh-huh.
So with that, let's go over to the code. This is what I've essentially what I've checked in here. Hold on a second. I've got the character stat scroll. I started putting my notes here in this comment. This is what I did this morning, where I started going through, looking at the numbers, where they are, and if I saw the number used more than once, I declared a constant for it. So like, for example, my AC init speed Y, that's my armor class, initiative, and speed Y column. And if we go back over to the image, what I'm talking about here, let's go bring this up. I'm talking about right up in here, this line right here, and I want all of these numbers to line up at the same height. And so
so they're going to have the same Y coordinate effectively.
Right, exactly. And if I move this around here, let me move this so you can see it because there it is right there. So it's right over. Nope, I don't want that. I want that. So come on, please, Windows. Okay. And yeah, we can kind of see it. So it's right like above my, near my finger right there is what that number is. It's the X and Y. So I'm at 131, 190 is what's happening right there. And let's see if I can get down there and show it to you. There it is right there. There. So that 131, 133, 191. So that Y is about 191 in that center position of where I want it, right there, about that center position, 190. And if we look over here, we're at 187. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what's going on. So and then what I did, and I don't know what this function is called yet, but the way I envision it is going to have the name of the property, the X, the Y, the font size. The font size, I am just straight out grabbing over here from PowerPoint where I prototyped it. So this font size is 16, and this one is 14, and this one is 9. And so what I did is I just grabbed those font sizes wherever they were, the different ones I was using, and I put those in here as well. You can see I've got a name font size, a temp HP font size, hit dice font size, that sort of thing. And so I've got the font sizes out there, and they are in used as well. Then I have optional parameter text align center, which is it's going to default, so it's going to be our alignment.
Yep.
And then this text display option, which is going to be normal or plus or minus. I haven't built those yet, but what the heck? Let's build them right now. So I want to see if text align exists. I almost think that text align exists somewhere. Let's see if I do it. Type in var text align. Type text align. If I do that, can I drill into text align? I can't. Okay, so text align doesn't exist. So let's create it. So I'm going to create a new enum, text align, and we're going to have center, and I should do these lowercase, I think, center, and we're going to have left as our two supported text aligns right there. And so center will be the default for this. And then also text display is another enum I want to create. So let's create that enum, text display, and we're going to have normal. And we're going to have also a plus minus will be a second option. So the plus minus will be that special version of that. Other than that, we'll use the same color for all the data. All the data is going to use this kind of dark brown from that we're using here. So what I'm doing is a design principle here that I'm not using a lot. I'm using very few colors, and the colors I'm using convey meaning. So I've got the +2 right here, and I've got the -1. So I've got a color for positive and a color for negative. I'm using red and blue to differentiate because red and blue are easier to differentiate for colorblind people than red and green. And I'm about to test that right now, Rory. Since you are colorblind, but
the red and the blue look very different.
They look different to you. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Let's do one more test since you're here with us right now.
Shockingly, the brown and the what color have you got in the circle to the left of Constitution?
That's brown right there.
That's brown. See, that is very similar to the red.
That's okay. That's what I would expect it to be.
But it's okay because I can tell because one's a number and one's a filled-in blob. It's not like it's a difficult thing, right?
I just need it to be filled in, that sort of thing. Yeah, so I think we're good. How's this 2 right here compared to this red? How are those two?
They're very different.
They're very different as well. Yeah. Okay, cool.
In those particular shades, yeah.
All right, let's make it worse. Let's go because I think
How
I
close
can.
We make them?
I think I can make it hard for you to see these two. If I just drop the shade down a little bit like this, and now how are they compared to each other?
I can tell, but I think what it would be is if I was only glancing, I might not notice.
Okay.
And actually, it's the glancing is an interesting issue because all of the positives that you've got with blue there, that sort of stops you from having to look at the detail, and you can make these sort of high-level assumptions. Oh, I have lots of blue over there. It must be good. I don't need to actually necessarily know the degree to which it's good. Maybe I do, at which point I pay more attention. But it sort of helps again. So things are, in fact, your hit points, your little meter, that's a kind of good example of that as well. Because again, at a glance, you can tell things are good and things are not good by the degree to which one or other color is predominant in that area.
Yeah, you know what I just thought would be fun is if this thing started to shake as it got low, right? So it was just like that. The bar was shaking maybe inside. That would be easy to do. That's kind of fun. We might do that.
I assume that because you've prototyped in PowerPoint that you just took this and pasted it in as XAML, yeah? Or, sorry, as HTML. Is that what you did to position this, or are these images?
No, these are what's going on here. This is in PowerPoint. So I've laid everything out in PowerPoint because PowerPoint is like the fastest tool for me to put text out. It's faster than anything from Adobe. It's faster than anything from, when I say anything from Adobe, I've tried Illustrator. I haven't used Adobe's actual designer layout tool yet, so there's a big gap in my experience with there. But Illustrator and Photoshop are slow. Corel Paint Shop Pro is slow. Everything's slow except for that I've tried, except for PowerPoint, which has got all kinds of things for laying text out fast and being able to handle a lot of text on screen without performance issues. And so I can very quickly grab them, lay them out, move them, copy formatting, moving that across. So laying something out like this very quickly is my tool of choice is right now PowerPoint.
I'm not surprised. I've seen you do this before, and actually you are very fast with this. And it's surprising that would be the case, but you know, if you think about it actually in a bit more detail, you've got the basic core shapes, you've got the ability to rotate, the ability to resize, and of course you can merge shapes together, which is fantastic for sort of building things out of basic building block shapes. Right.
In fact, if you look at these, if you look at the Dungeon Masters cheat sheet the PDF, the PDF that you fill out for your character looks very similar to the layout here. So I chose these shapes specifically to match the layout, the same shapes used for the same numbers on the Dungeons and Dragons official PDF that you can download for your character sheets, so that we'd have this visual recognition based on shape, which I think is not a not bad idea. I think it's generally a good idea, and since there's already a standard there, I went with it. And so we've got the same kind of thing happening here, and I built all of these also. This is all totally built in right here in Outlook. I created this shape by dragging it down, dragging other things around, subtracting the shapes around. I'll show you how easy it is. Hold on. Let me ungroup this for a second. Come over here. If I wanted to cut like a hole out of the top, I just select these two, center it, and then hit this button right here, cut a hole in there. Now I've got my new revised shield, whatever that is, right? So it's very fast to create these kinds of shapes. Yeah. So I'm super happy with that. Let me just undo all this and go back to where I was before, because I kind of like these grouped together before I ungrouped them. I think I'm there. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So so that's kind of where I am. There's the mock-up. Here's the call, whatever this thing is. I'm going to need a class, and I'm going to call this class, I think, character stat. I've added this class out here. Nothing's in it yet, but it's going to have insight. So the character stat, this is the constructor, and the constructor is going to take, I think, a name. So I'll type in VS to get a property type string.
So you're going to have an instance of this for each statistic, each fact.
Yes. And then I'm going to type in VN to get a number, and I'm going to type in X. By the way, check out the chat room. I think Will's saying some stuff out there.
Yeah, so Will was talking about the canvas text align is actually the thing that does exist, which has start, end, left, right, and center. So a potential alternative to use for that. He's also commenting on the color blindness, suggesting that red-green color line is mostly when the colors are adjacent or overlapping. So it is very much a kind of a proximity thing. A great example is for example, my own particular brand of color blindness, I have difficulty picking out the red berries on green holly because one is kind of a much greater quantity, and again the proximity of one on the other, it's like my brain approximates, is the way I sort of look at it. It says, from this distance, I don't really care about the red berries, they're very small, they don't really count. And as I get very much closer, if I put a lot more concentration into it, I can pick them out. But it's almost like a blind spot, similar kind of logic going on in my head anyway.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So I love having you as a resource on this, by the way, Rory. No, I totally do.
I can't claim to be definitive because A, there are several types of colorblindness.
Yes,
and B,
there are many.
It might not be actual problem with the cones in my head. It could just be my brain doesn't work very well.
Yeah,
you never know.
We talk about that sometimes when you're not on the show. It's first place we go to when you're gone. Okay, so here we go. I'm kind of building out the constructor here. I've got my X, Y. I've got my size. So the size is going to be the font size if it's text, and if it's a Boolean, it's going to be the radius. So I'm going to have this double up and use 2. I'm always, I'm always like iffy if I do this. I try not to do this, but for now, that's kind of what I decided to do. And if it gets gross, we'll back it out and create two different kinds of things, maybe an ancestor class, I'm not sure. But for right now, we're going to do size. Text align is this. We're going to set that equal to text align dot center as the default. And text display is also going to have a default that's going to be normal. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so that's character stat for right now. That means that all of this now becomes new character stat. All the way along down here. I guess I could
You've done your preparation. Watch how this is. This is great. I love this feature.
Well, yeah.
Ability to insert text exactly the same. Well, say insert to literally
Yeah.
type it in place.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed.
It is nice. So we've got there's my new character stats there. And we're going to do the same thing here and the same thing here. So I've got that. And like I said, I don't have everything. I just have it's funny too, because it's like, you look at this and you're like, whoa, that's like a little mind numbing. Right. And I went through all of this. One of the things I also did, though, because of I guess OCD or, emphasis on precision, which I kind of have, is I went here for the attributes, strength, dexterity, constitution, right? Those are evenly spaced all the way along down here, strength, dexterity, constitution. What I did is I kind of measured the distance and divided by 5 and then took my starting place and just added that difference all the way down.
Sure.
So what you're seeing here is 2 times the attribute distance on Y, 3 times it, 4 times it, 5 times it, both for the charisma and the charisma mod. Charisma mod is the number that goes down in here. Wisdom mod is the number that goes down there. That's something we can calculate, but I still need to go get the value, and I don't want character stat to figure that out. I don't want character to have to figure that out. So next, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of grab this, and actually all the way down here, I'm just going to copy this for a second, and now I'm going to go over into character, which is another file I added. Right here, another empty one. We're going to create a new class here, call it character or player, or I'm not sure what we're calling it here yet. I don't think I'm going to give it a constructor because it's going to have a lot of properties in it. And what I want to do here is I just want to come in and get all these property names and turn them into properties. So I'm going to just clean this up, get only the character stat pieces in here, and then we're going to come in and we're going to, whoops, what did I do? Hold on. There we go. Grab this, take that there. Can I be smart enough to do let's do this. Let's see if we can do a search and replace. So I'm looking for a quote followed by, I'm doing a regular expression search and replace, any number of characters and a semicolon. And I want to replace that with, I think it's a number. Is that right? Is it a number with the exception of the death save, life 1 through 3, whatever those? I'm going to replace all those with numbers like that. And will I initialize them? Well, name is not. Some of these are not entirely numbers.
You get a good few of them, though.
Let's do this for now and see what happens. Text was not found. Looks like I've got a special character. Is it that one? Why do I just not have regular expression on?
Oh, is it? You haven't got regular expression on, yeah.
That's what it is. Try that now. There we go. Okay, 30 instances. All right. So that's not bad. And now at least we got some code that compiles name. That's a string. And race class is a string. Alignment is a string. Hit dice is a string, and these are all booleans right here. Too bad templates don't work across multiple pieces. Could we do that, Rory? Could we make a request?
I think that's a valid one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is a super interesting idea. So the idea is I've got a rectangular selection, and I type in a template for like TB for boolean, and just pops it everywhere. If it's a one-line template, if the template doesn't have any carriage returns in it, it could work. I think that's a suggestion. Okay, so all right, so let's grab that and come down here and grab number as well. Those are all booleans. Okay, that's feeling pretty good. The mods, I think I want to calculate these, is what I think I want to do. I think I want to do it. I think I want to do it. I think I want to do it. Or alternatively, I want to make these read-only and calculate them. Do I want to make?
So what do you mean calculate them in this case?
So the mod.
These are all just raw numbers.
They are, but your
your
wisdom modifier is calculated based on your wisdom, and the formula is you take your wisdom, you subtract I think 10 and divide by 2 and floor it. So the idea is if I had a wisdom of 10, I'd subtract 10 from that, which gives me 0. Divide by 2, which is 0, and then floor it, which is 0. Okay, but if I have a wisdom of 14, I subtract 10, I get 4. Divide by 2, I'm now at 2. I floor that, and I'm still at 2. So my modifier is plus 2 if my wisdom's 14. And if my
So what's the modifier used for during the course of a game?
It's in the game, and it's used for things like such as the saving throw. For example, if you look over here, I've actually got numbers filled out the way they would go. So here, for example, dexterity is 14. That means my modifier is plus 2. And then if we come down here for my dexterity saving throw, you can see it's a plus 2 right there.
Oh, so that's the transition of the plus 2 from the left-hand side, yes.
Okay. Yeah. And so if I have to make a dexterity saving throw, I roll the dice and add 2 to the number. If I have to make a wisdom saving throw, because my wisdom's only 8, and we subtract 10, we get -2. Divide by 2, we're at -1. We floor it, we're still at -1, right? That's I subtract 1 from the dice when I'm making a wisdom saving throw.
Well, in that case, that makes perfect sense. Absolutely. These are entirely derived pieces of information. They're not really something you set up in advance. They can be calculated from your base information.
Yeah, and so now I'm thinking I want to make these properties is what I think I want to do. So what I think I want to do here is I want to come in here and say read only here. So I'm just typing in an RO to make it read only. Can I do this? Can I set it from anywhere in my code? I don't know if I can do that.
I believe usual logic is you can set it from a constructor.
But not anywhere else. And I want to actually do it from anywhere else. So I guess I'm, let's see if I get yeah, there we go. We got a problem here. Cannot find name.
You can make it private with a read-only property.
Sorry, this.
A getter, as it were.
Let's see. Yeah, that's what I got to do. It's now we have the new problem. Yeah. Okay, so I got to do getters. I was hoping I didn't have to do that because it was a lot of code I was thinking, but let's do it.
Yeah.
So
convert to property, delete the setter.
So let's see what I can do. Do I have a G for getter or a GN? I don't. I just have PN for property. So we're going to say wisdom mod like that, and I'm going to get rid of this. I'm just going to manually delete this. I think is what I'm going to do. What's happening here? Just duplicate identifier. Okay, cool. So we'll kill that right there. There's my wisdom mod, and that's good. Then let's grab wisdom, and we're going to come in here and we're going to create a property for this called wisdom, like this. And then we're going to say this.wisdom is equal to new value when it's set. Then we're also going to say this.wisdom mod equals this.wisdom divided by 2. Then we're going to say, this.wisdom minus 10 divided by 2, like that. And then we're going to take that and we are going to call math.floor on that, like this. And that is our wisdom mod. And then this, let's get rid of wisdom. And let's now, here's a big test, Rory. Get ready to write up a bug report if this fails. Okay? But here's what we're doing. We're taking our wisdom mod, read-only property, our backing store for wisdom, our backing and our read-write property for wisdom.
Can you see where he's going with this, kids?
Selecting the whole thing, and I'm hitting Shift-Enter to duplicate selection. And now I'm going to say, OK for private, OK for number, OK for get. Give me the ability to change here. I don't want to change all of wisdom mod. I just want to change I just want to
We
change.
can we not give CodeRushed a hint by capturing one of those ahead of time?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that.
Multi-selection marker.
Let's do it because I think we were like a little bit. Let's do that and see if we can nail it with that. All right, so we're gonna come in one more time, and I think all I need to do is grab this.
That's it. Yeah.
Let's see if that works.
That's correct.
Note the time. If this fails, I want this to be
Oh, yeah.
smart. Okay, and it
Look at that.
already
That's looking
changed to charisma for me, so
pretty
I'm
good.
good with that. And now I'm going to come in and hit Shift Enter again, and now I'm going to change this to intelligence, like that. So now I've got my intelligence mod read only, and now I'm going to hit Shift Enter again. I can just keep repeating, and now I've got what is the strength is another one I need to do. Nice. It's across the board grabbing everything. Nice.
It's working really well, isn't it?
I'm sorry, buddy, but I thought you were going to have to, do a bug report.
No.
So now I want, so let's see. It looks like I misspelled intelligence. I'll have to go fix that. So, strength, charisma, dexterity. I haven't done dexterity, is one of those. So let's see. Dexterity, strength, charisma, wisdom, constitution. And is that it? I think it's Constitution is the last one. I think I've got all
That's
six.
the last one, yeah.
Constitution, like that. So there's that. Let's go delete our pieces up here. We don't need this anymore. And we don't need Constitution. And we don't need Strength and Strength mod and Dexterity mod. And we don't need Intelligence or Intelligence mod anymore. And we're going to spell those correctly up here. It's a little bit more work. Why do I have all of these lines around here? I don't get that. Is it because that was up?
A little. Oh, of course, it was finding you everything that you were searching. Well,
Is that
potentially
what it
trying to
was?
search for.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to do a couple renames here, like that, and like this. Aren't you glad you did not have to write down that bug report?
To be fair, I was pretty confident.
Oh, really?
I've seen this work before.
I was like,
I have faith. That's what it is.
I was like, come on, buddy. Get it for me. That's where I want it to be.
Yeah.
That's definitely where I want it to be. Okay, so now...
It's really nice when that stuff works, because let's look at the complexity of even just one of those. You don't want to have to type that out.
No.
You don't even want to have to go and make a template, right? Because although you could, that's a hassle,
Yeah.
right? You don't want that. But this is good.
Yeah.
Spot on stuff.
Yeah. The only thing I realized I should have done that was a mistake is I should have created a function to do this, get mod from ability instead, and I think I'm going to do that right now. So I just typed in fn for a function that returns a number. We're going to type in get mod from ability, like that, and then we're going to type in vn to get the number in here, and then we're going to call this ability score. And then that way, if I'm wrong on this, I don't have to go all over the place, and make the change and potentially have a bug, that sort of thing. So we're going to grab this right here. We're going to type in r space to return, and then we're going to replace this dot constitution with this. And then I want to grab math.floor, boom, boom, and I want to replace it with get mod from ability. Call. So let's do that. Let's select all of this. And we're going to do search and replace. Grab math.floor. Boom, boom, like that. Replace it with get mod from ability. This time we're not going to do that. And I need an extra paren at the end of that. And let's do that. 7 occurrences. And then I want to grab...
That will have done the whole document, which probably includes your function at the bottom.
Son of a... No, we're good. For some reason, oh yeah, you're right. I had the piece selected, I thought, but...
I have noticed in the past that despite having a selection, Studio likes saying current document regardless.
Huh.
There is a setting somewhere, I forget what it is, that will force it to set
it's right here
accordingly.
It's right here, Rory.
There, but even if you set that to selection, and then you go and I think it's go and select something anyway, and then you try and do a Control H to start that, I think it still resets sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Current document.
Let's test it.
That
see what
can
we got.
be annoying.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to come in, Control H, paste. It's got selection up
you're
there.
okay there for the moment. So maybe it's under some other circumstances, but there is an issue I've run across, and to be honest, I cannot rightly remember the specific circumstance. In any case, we've got this working here. This is good.
Let's do this. We're going to have this is going to have some spillover, Wait. Why didn't it do all of them? Oh, because I didn't do all of them like that? I'm just hitting enter on each one. Boom. Okay, there we go. Now we don't have it anymore. All right. So now we've got git mod from ability all the way down. Okay. So a lot of work here, but now we've got read-only properties on here, which is where we want to be.
A lot of work, but a lot less than we might otherwise have had to do.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. So there's my character. Now the next question is, how are we got to create those character stats somewhere?
Yep.
Is what we need to do. And I'm not sure what to do with that yet. Let's go kind of look at them and see if we get inspired.
Some test code. So what, you're going to make a test elf or a test wizard or something like that? And just give them...
Well, yeah, that's definitely something we got to do. But I'm actually thinking about, my question is, but we can do that first. But my question is, where is this code going? Because this is kind of an initialization for the page. And I think I also have a stat page that I've created here. I think I'm going to create a stat page and then define different stat pages, and then add the stat pages to the character stats scroll is what I think I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So, but first, let's do what you just said. Let's create a new character, and we'll fill out some of these properties right here. And so let's do that in our test game engine for our dragon game. So right in here. And this is our test command. So if I come in here and say, let's just say test scroll. For the slam, we're going to say this dot create. No, maybe not. Maybe character dot new test elf. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
But where does that, am I going to hold on to that character though? Let's do this. It's going to be like this, dot characters dot push of this. So I'm going to create a list of characters.
Mm-hmm. That seems good, yeah.
Inside of character stats scroll. So let's do that right now. New, I think it's new array of, and I don't have anything. What is it? New array, something like this. Is that really what it is? I think it is. And the type goes here. The instance parameters, that's the link. No. I want a generic array, and I'm totally forgetting the syntax for it. It's not new. Hold on a second. Is it
still angle brackets as
there it
as
is.
in C#?
I got it. It's VA, so variable array dot and then the type. And I just need to get the var out of there. So we're going to call this characters, and it's an array of characters. I was just forgetting the syntax on that. And that's going to be a new array of character right there that we're going to create. Okay, so the push will work now. That push is out there. And we'll need to have some sort of selection mechanism as well. Selected character index. Maybe we'll create something like that. Selected character index. Like that. And we'll set that equal to 0. Okay. Or maybe -1. And then we'll come back over here and we're going to do this. After we push it, we're going to set it equal to 0. Like that. Okay, new test elf. Let's go create that code over there. Declare that method. Drill down into it. Let's take this, put it way down to the bottom. And so we're going to say new and new character. And that's going to be of type character. So we're going to say let elf equal let elf of type character equal new character. And then we're going to come down and say elf dot name is equal to Rorificent. Rorificent, something like that. And
sure.
Elf dot race.
Mark, can you do
class?
Rather, I know you're going to
go ahead.
race class there now, but presumably we could select the line and duplicate line, and we would get intelligence, and it would pick further and further properties.
You think I should do this and then say race
I'm sure
class?
I've done that. I'm sure CodeRushed is smart enough to.
No, I don't think it
decide
does.
You're trying to set the next property in this.
I wish
The
it
next
was,
property.
and I don't think it is. That's a feature request.
Really?
I think you've
Okay.
seen it. It's watching you do other things, and then based on the other things you've done earlier, it's now advancing. So if you did name first, then race class next, the next time I see something with name in it, and I duplicate the line, it's going to switch it to race class. So,
Okay.
but that's I think an interesting suggestion. So we're going to say you are a wood elf. And your class is going to be barbarian? Or do you want to do that? Do you want to be that? Fine.
I'm happy either way.
All
Sure.
right. So shift enter on this thing, and now we're down here to what next? Alignment is equal to well, you're like
Chaotic.
lawful good. I think you're lawful good. I'm chaotic.
Well, the fair play. Yeah.
Rory is lawful good, clearly. In fact, we really
We're
need.
thoroughly amused.
This is the new Rory test elf, is what we're talking about here. All right. So there's Rory's alignment, and let's keep setting some stuff over here. Let's say your armor class is like 12. Whoops, equals 12. And what do we got next? Charisma.
At 3.
Let's do this. Let's create the ability to roll a character. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say character dot get ability
Let me
score.
guess, target value.
I'm just going to call get ability score is what I'm going to do. Target value. What are you talking about?
Because that's your particle thing.
Oh,
You
right,
said,
right.
we want it to be between here and here, but with this
Yes.
variance, it's a similar kind of concept.
No, exactly. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. So get ability score is going to return a number. This, by the way, is going to return a character. We want to fix that right there. And get ability score. So what I want to do here is I'm going to say return math dot, do I have random? Right here times 6 plus math random times 6 plus math random times 6. I think I need to floor all of these individually. Math.floor. Yeah, you know what? Let's get another one of these. Hold on. Let's make this smarter. Roll die and sides like that. So that's going to roll my die for me right here. Then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say return roll die of 6. And this is going to be, these are both statics. Like that. Static. Like that. Do I have a syntax problem? I have something here. Oh, I see. I got you. Okay. Roll die, math random. Boom. So it's math floor of that. This is sides. And I think it's +1. If I got that right. So if I say it's 6 sides, this is going to give me a number between 0 and 6. I'll floor it, which gives it, when I say 0 and 6, not in, it's exclusive, so the 6 is not part of it. So I'll get like 5.999999999 at the highest. Then I'm going to floor it, so I'll go get a number between 0 and 5, and then I'll add 1 to give me a number between 1 and 6. So there's roll die. So then I'm going to say return character.roll die. Like that, and then do that 3 times. Plus that, plus that. And I think that'll do it. So now what's cool about this is we're going to get random charismas, and we'll be able to test the layout we'll be able to visually see and spot that that the mods are calculating correctly.
Have 1 or 2 digits, for example, so that's between 3 and 18.
Oh, Will Bennett,
so, yeah.
Will Bennett said you have random get int, which I think is going to save me here. I think it gets me to this point right here, right? I think I have. That's right. We did add that. Thank you so much, Will. Random int max, I think is what we want. Or I could do is just say int between, like that, and pass in 1 and 6, like that. And I think it is, let's double check that. It is going to be my upper bound, lower bound, so is 1, plus this upper bound minus lower bound. Ooh. That's not going to work. Upper bound is 6 minus 1. 1 is going to be 5. So this is going to be 0 through 5. So it is not inclusive. So I'd have to make it in between 1 and 7, like there, is what I would have to do. In between 1 and sides plus 1 is what I would have to do, like that. And that would work. Okay?
Sure.
Sure, maybe it's going to work. There we go. There's my return elf right there. There's charisma. Let's set a few more properties. We don't have to do them all right now. Constitution is equal to character.get ability score, like that. Let's shift enter. Now watch what's happening. Shift enter.
There you go. Dexterity, Constitution.
Shift enter. Oh, now we just
So,
it didn't quite get it all the way.
We're looping a little bit at that stage, but
Wisdom.
so that did work, right?
And
so that's
intelligence.
kind of what I was expecting at the start. So you knew ahead of time, though, that it wouldn't. So what's the distinguishing factor there?
Oh, what's happening is it remembered that the last time I was on Constitution, I went to Dexterity afterwards. But then it didn't have anything after Dexterity, so it said, well, I'll take you back to Constitution, is what it did. So let's see. We've got Charisma, Constitution, Dexterity, Intelligence, Strength is the last one we need. So yeah, it's not that higher level of intelligence that I want it to be, but it's not bad. So we've got those pieces right there. Well, let's see what else we've got in here. These, I'm not going to do anything on these yet. And hit points, hit dice. Let's say hit dice.
Our friend in the chat room is suggesting possibly that your random get-in is inclusive, and is suggesting specific reasoning. I have to say I didn't follow the actual method itself. So
it looked to me like it was not inclusive. So here's if this is a 1 and this is a 6, then this comes in at 1 plus random of 5. Random of 5 is going to give me 0 through 4.99999. It's going to really give me numbers between 0 and 4. Yeah, I'm looking at this code, Will, and it looks to me like it is not inclusive, is what it looks like to me. That it is, we're not going to get that upper bound character for that. And what we could do is add plus 0.9999 or something like that. I don't know. We could maybe trick it a bit, but I'm not liking this.
The difficulty is that we perhaps have other code elsewhere that's relying on the bug that's currently there.
Yeah, you're welcome for that. To be inclusive, let's see if anything else is relying on it. Let's tab to next reference. We're in part. Part is for the jiggle. It's getting that. So that's a visual, and that's it. Essentially is what we've got. So I am not... wait, that's into between. Am I in the wrong spot? I was going to do into. Wait, let's look back where it was. Oh, interesting. Okay, note this. Tap to next reference didn't find this in character.ts, and I'm not sure why. Do you see that? Can you note the time and report that bug for our devs to look at? It should have found that. I just had added it, so they might have to roll back a bit. Okay. So I think we're going to have to do this right here. We've got some hit dice is 1d10. And I'm going to say that's good for now. So we've got an elf that we're returning.
Works, yeah.
The next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to have a stat page hold a whole bunch of character stats, I think. And so let's do that. Let's create a new class here, call it stat page. It's going to have a new array of character stats, and that'll be like that, and we're going to say that's equal to a new array of it. So that's initialized. That's our stat page, and I think it's also going to have a name, so the character name will be part of this, I think, or some ID. The name, I think I'm going to have a name here is what I'm going to do. Like that, and that should be string, actually.
What's that going to be the name of?
The name of the character or the player is what...
Because you have that as one of the stats.
I know, I do. But it's kind of different, and I think I don't want to reach down into that to grab that piece, I think. Or, yeah, how do I... Yeah, because then I got to find it, And maybe I'll change this to player name. So the other one will be character name, and this will be player name.
Fair enough.
To make it to make you happy. And actually, I think I want this to be a parameter in the constructor is what I want. So let's make this a parameter. Make it public, like that. And so there's my stat page. So then I think I want a static function inside of here to create the different stat pages is what I think I want. And that's why I want to put all that other stuff. So I'm going to create a new function here. What's going on here? Why isn't the end template working for me? Because it's not the end template, it's the F template. All right, sorry. This is going to be create main stats page, like that. I think it's going to create a stats page. And we are going to create a new variable here. Whoops, let's use L instead of let. And it's going to be our stat page, and it's of type stat page, and that's going to be equal to a new stat page. And we got to get the, oh, wait. No, not player name. I don't need player name here at all. Player name is not bound to the stats page. It's not. Okay, so it's going to look like this. And we're going to return that stat page. And Will Bennett is suggesting upper bound minus lower bound plus 1. I think I'm kind of with him on this, is what I'm thinking about. On the random. This is kind of what I was thinking too. Right there. And now it's inclusive.
Yep.
And now we've modified our jiggle in part, but
You can take the +1 off the call.
Look at that.
Ta-da! Cleaner code for the win.
For the win. Look at that. There was a sign we had a bug. Right? We had a sign we had a problem was right there in our faces. Okay, so good. I'm feeling good about that. Thanks, Will.
All hail the Will.
All hail to Will. As usual, he's kicking butt out there. All right, so stat page is where I think we are. So now the main stats page, that's where we want to take this stuff and do something with it right here. So I'm going to grab all of this and I'm going to do that and kill this and come back over to here and wait, what happened? Not there. Stat page, sorry. I'm going to kind of put it here, I think, for now. And this is going to comment this out right here. That's just kind of what my syntax is, although I think I don't really need that anymore because I've already got that in character stat. And what's my problem here? Death save. I got the same numbers again, 284. Death save X and Y, and then I added death save radius, it looks like. Wait. No, wait. The squiggly underlines went away. What do we got here? Death save 1x is 228, 2x is 255, 280, 3x. Death save life x, y, sorry. Death save death y, 284. And there I think
there is no radius in the duplicate, so
yeah. Okay, so I've got those, and there's my booleans. And now instead of new character stat, what I think I want to do instead is I want to create a function that I'm going to call in here that's going to create the character stat and add it. That's what I want to do. So I'm just going to clean up all of this. So we're going to call it, we're going to grab the class, it's going to be static function. And so I'm going to come in here, grab all of this, and say this stat page dot add stat. Why not?
Yep.
And there it is. Whoops, there it is. Looks like mod font size is what? Not decline. Not. Hold on a second. Got some problems here with our case, I think. Mod font size. Did I not declare it? Looks like I did not. Let's find out what that is. It's right here. Mod font size is 10. That. Okay, so there's my mod font size. We're set there. Just going to zoom out for a second here and get all of these that are off screen. Why don't I have center? There's center right there. So center, 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 plus minus. Do I have that? No, I don't have. I was looking for Control B to paste replace. Not there yet. Okay.
Not yet. Coming, I'm sure.
All right. So add stat. Let's declare that. Wait. Let's
So
do
you've
it.
got a class reference rather than an instance variable reference at the start of each of those. So stat page is the class. You need to, I guess you're going to make an instance method called add stat for the page.
Oh, geez, you're right. It's got to be to the page.
So if you lowercase the initial s, and then the function will get declared as an instance one.
Yeah, you're
on
right.
the page.
I was totally thinking it was going to be a. Static method, but you're right. It makes so much more sense to do that instead. All right, so let's do this. Let's grab this one. It's got a bunch of parameters. Declare it. Jump inside. See how smart it is for what it gave me. So this is going to be the name. This is going to be the X. This is going to be the Y. This is going to be the size. This is going to be the alignment, the text align. And I need the other piece of it, the text display option as well.
Mm-hmm.
Text align. We're going to set that equal to text align dot center, and text display of type text display. Set that equal to text display dot normal. Okay, and all of these above should go away. All those red underlines should go away. Good. And now we're going to come in here. We're going to say this dot character stats dot add push, right? Dot push. We're going to say new character stat. And that's going to get name X, Y, size, text align, text display. Like
Nice.
that. Right there. And one more closing paren. And I think that's it. So there's my add stat. And we can get rid of this here. Okay? So now I've got an add stat on there. Cool.
So we've got a page. The page is going to add a whole bunch of statistics. It's going to add the knowledge that that named statistic is going to be in this location with that font size, that alignment, all those kind of bits and pieces. And, wow, so where does that put us?
You know, I'm not sure. I was just like so concentrating so deeply in all of that. Let's figure out where we need to call this. Create main stats page. At the very least, we need to create that. And we need to put it somewhere. Let's figure out where we're going to put that. I'm thinking Dragon Game is kind of where we want to start play. At least consider starting to play.
Okay.
We're creating the character stat scroll has got that. I am imagining the code is something like this. It's like this dot pages dot push, and then we're going to say what do we have here? It's I think it's stats page dot dot create main stats page, like that. I think that, what is it? It's not stats page, stat page, singular. And I think that's what we're looking at right there. So the character scroll's got a collection of pages, one for each page is going to be able to show, and it's got a collection of characters that will be selected, and so we'll swap in and out of different characters.
Sounds good.
Okay, that's kind of the idea. And so what we need to do is we need to have an array of pages. So let's go find characters, and we're going to do something very similar here, but we're going to call it pages. And like that. That wasn't too bad. It was a nice use of duplicate line to very quickly get that. So there's our pages, which means this code now compiles. And we've got that main page in there. So now I think the last thing we got to do is we got to actually draw. Like right now, I think everything we've done compiles, is my sense.
And we've arranged our data so that it's nice and accessible.
If I refresh over here, I'm anticipating that it's going to, well, what's going on? It says waiting for localhost. There we go. It's got the refresh. And if I come in, I just do a test scroll, we should see the scroll pop down. Oh, interesting. I saw it on not here, but I saw it on the main one. Did I break something? Let's see if I broke something. Maybe I did break something. Get mod from ability is not defined. In character line, it's got to be a this, I think, right there. Did I fail to do that? That's in character TS. So let's go find.
That'll be in most of them. There'll be about 6 different places.
I thought I changed it.
Oh,
Look.
Oh, okay. So we just got one somehow. Okay.
I did a search and replace, and I think I started
okay.
too low. Okay, so let's try that refresh over here and do a test scroll again. Will Bennett is saying this dot over there. Where did I miss that? Oh, it's on that one we just did.
What you just did.
Yeah,
so,
okay. All right, great. So let's say test scroll, and let's see if we see it now. There it is showing up. Okay,
there
good.
We go.
So nothing is broken, it appears, right? Nothing in the console. I've got this one console log scroll is not visible. That was from some testing I was doing. Let's go fix that. Let's go look for a log in here. We're going to, I'm going to just do this. I'll keep this in case I need to ever debug this again, like that. Okay. So yeah, isn't that cool how that's changing?
It is nice.
Will Bennett's changing that out there. All right. So next we want to draw the text. And let's look at that code and see. I'm going to approach this from the client perspective. So instead of going in and building the drawing stuff in the low-level classes, I'm going to go to the higher-level class, this one, character stat scroll, and we're going to draw out the data is what we're going to do. So we're going to put that code here. That's where we draw the roles. Hold on. Scroll roles, we're going to draw those. Those actually are, maybe I'm not going to put that there. I think I'm going to instead, let's do this. Let's DH, this is the offset. This is how high this piece is right here. That is set there. I feel like what I want to do, does it change? Does it change? We're just multiplying by 2 here to kind of get that piece out. Let's do this, I think. Let's set up. Let's add a couple more variables here. And we're going to say top data. We're going to set that equal to 0. And then we're going to say bottom data. And we're going to set that equal to infinity, maybe? I think. Let's get infinity. What's Will want to say? Nothing? He's just playing? That's totally...
He's having great fun.
Totally your prerogative to play.
I have to agree with him that it's really nice seeing the transitions between those 2 pages and the particle effect. It's all just coming together. It's
not bad. I'm going to just... You can do a test orbit again. Well, I just want to get rid of the scroll that's taking up the side of the screen right here for a second. So I'm just refreshing, but feel free to throw another orbit out if you want to. Let's see here. There's my bottom data. And so we can change both of these to let. And then what I want to do is, if we get in here, I want to come in and say, oh, great. Great, Will. Is that Will? Great. That's not distracting. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I want to say my my top data is equal to my dy, in this case. And I'm going to say my bottom data is equal to dy plus dh, my height. So these are basically two numbers where if there's a number in that range, we can draw it. Okay? And so, and otherwise we're just going to give them 0 and infinity is what we're going to do. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to, before we draw the roles right here, we're going to come in and say this dot draw data, draw character stats maybe, draw character stats, and we're going to pass in the top data and the bottom data. It's funny, like we've been going for about an hour, Rory. We are going to just get this working, I think, by the time, you know, in the next 20 minutes, I think we'll have this working. Maybe in the next 5 or 10, if we're really lucky. That'll be awesome. You good on time still, my friend, or?
I tell you what, I probably should leave.
Okay, buddy.
The main reason is because I know you and I've got that other thing later.
Okay.
And I need to get some stuff done ahead of that.
Let's.
But I'll catch you later. And
we'll see you.
That next Tuesday.
Okay, now next Tuesday. Thanks so much, Rory. Appreciate it.
All right. Catch you later.
Bye. Okay, so character stats. So now I selected character indices here, and I think I also need similarly a selected page index, and we'll set that at -1 as well. And that also means that in my dragon game where we're initializing, I need to come in here and get that right there, get that stat page index. And initialize that. Isn't that interesting how the syntax highlighting there is not yet caught up with that? I feel like I want to do something. There we go. Now it's happy. It took like the scroll state highlighting and overlapped it for a moment. Okay. Okay. So there's that. So now we've got our page indexes. So this is the data we're kind of working with right here. And let's go back in here and character stats. This is going to return a void, a big fat void, and we need to get our active character here. So we need to say if selected character index is less than 0, then let's just get out. We're done and out. And similarly, we're going to do the same thing with selected page index. If that's less than 0, then we're out. Whoops, not there. Here. And this should be a this. And that should be this right there. And then now we can go grab the character in the page is what we can do from each one of these. So selected stat page index is this one. And that was selection increase I just used there. And I'm dropping markers so I can kind of go back and forth. And so there's that. And here's this. Let me grab stat page for a second here. So we're going to say let active page equal, or sorry, of type stat page equal this dot pages, like that. And then up here we want something similar that's going to be active character. It's a bit of a mess, but I'm working my way there. This dot characters is of type character. And so it's like that. So now with all that code, I've come in here and I've now got an active character and an active page. And so now with the active page, it's going to tell me all the stats on it that I want to draw. So now active page dot character stats. These are all of them. So now I think I want a big fat for each inside of here is what I want. As usual, I've totally forgotten the syntax for each. Do I have a template to help me out on this? I do. So it's like this. Okay. And so this is going to be for each character stat, we're going to bring in some sort of stat, and that is of type character stat. Okay. And then here's my code right here. So for each character stat, then we go and we want to go into active character and see if we can find that value. Get property value is what I think I'm going to call it. And we're going to pass in, I think, the stat dot name. So that is going to be the value. And that can be kind of any type right here. That can be a Boolean. That can be, because we're going to, I think, return that actual piece. Get the property value. Let's go in and declare this and figure out how to build that. This is something I'm going to have to research. Get prop value. So there's my get prop value right here. And now we need to go through all the properties of this and find one that match. So let's see what we can do out here. So we're looking for JavaScript find property value by name, I think. Get JavaScript object from array of objects by value of property. Property matches a value. For property of a specific value. Prototype find returns the value. The first element in the array that satisfies the find of an object. Will is saying object in quotes of it. And I think I've seen that before. So let's try that. Return this, I think, of name. Let's see if that works. Okay, so there's get prop value. And what were we doing here? Active character dot get prop value. There's my value. And now what I want to do is I want to say if, well, before I do that, I want to say this. I want to say if stat.y is greater than top data and stat.y is less than bottom data, then we're good and we can do this next piece right here. Then we can draw. So we're going to say let value is equal to that. Then we're going to say, oh, we need, guess what we need in character stats? We need a context to pass in here. And we're passing in world.ctx here, so we'll use the same thing there, I think. Go into here, we need a new variable type context of type canvas rendering context 2D to be specific. And this is my context, like that. And so now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say context dot, what is it, draw text? I forget what it is. It's not draw text. It is, let's see what we got with the word text in it. Stroke text, fill text is what we want. The text we're going to pass in is going to be value for now. The x and y is going to be stat.x, stat.y. Not going to worry about max width, but I am going to come in and I need to say, I need to do this. If stat.textAlign equals textAlign.center, then we want to say, let's do a couple things here. Let's build these out here. And so if we want, if it's centered, then we want to say context dot, and is it textAlign? TextAlign equals, what is it? Help me out. Is this really it's a string. Okay. Forget what it is. I think it's middle is what it is. It's center. That's what I think it is. Center, like that. And two single quotes for it. Okay, so there's center, and then here we're going to set it to left. I'm pretty sure. I'm doing this by memory, but I'm pretty sure these are correct. Looks like Will has confirmed center as well. He also got fill text before I did. Good job, Will. Okay, so I've got that. Then I want to say context.fill style is is equal to, and we need to get the that color. And I think I'm going to grab this because I think the color of this label is the same as the color I want to draw the text in. So it's close to black, but it's not quite. But I'm going to grab that there because it's the fastest, closest way I can get something to it and pop it in there. So there's my fill style for that. Unless, of course, text align is something different. But at this point, we're drawing the text at that location. We're centering it. We need to also do the vertical align. What is that? What is it? Vertical? Is there something vertical align? No, baseline align. What is it? Text baseline equals, and I think it's middle. Again, that's from memory, but if I'm wrong, we can adjust and fix. So it's in the middle at its location, and it's aligned based on what our alignment is. We're not doing anything for mods yet, but I think we got a shot at maybe something working. Let's see what we got, and we'll step through and debug it. So let's refresh over here. Let me switch to this view right here. Oh, good, good, good. Look at that resource. Will Bennett out there is telling us canvas text align is left, right, or center. So we used left and center. We got that. And we use middle as well for canvas text baseline. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so let's come in and say test scroll. And let's see if we get any data out. Oh, we got data, kids. We just didn't get the size. We just got to get that size right, and we're like in business. That's very cool. Here, let me, I love that. Here, let's zoom in on that so you can see that. The font's all the wrong size. Oh, and we got a bunch of undefineds that we'd have to fix as well. But we got the right places for it. There's no value defined for them yet, but the places are correct. So that feels good. Feels really good. I'm liking that. We're not far from being done. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Rory would be happy and proud. Okay. So let's keep going with that. So it's context dot, what is it? Font equals, and it's something px Arial, I think. What's the font I'm using? Let's go find out what font I'm using over here and use the same font. It's Calibri. Let's use Calibri instead. And is this the whole? I'm not sure if that's the whole font name or not, but let's try it. So the font is equal to this, and then we also have to say stat.size. Size plus that. And that should get our font correct there. Let's try refresh. Test scroll. Nope. What failed? Did I not refresh it? I thought I refreshed it. The font looks right to me. Stat.size. Let's do this. Let's do a console log here and just see what we got coming out. Plus that, and we'll see what we get. We're going to do one more refresh. Test scroll. Here it comes. 10px sans serif. So it's saying it's all 10px. Why aren't the font sizes changing? Those should not all be 10. Doesn't recognize the font, maybe. Oh, wait, let's look at that. Yeah, it just says 10 per advanced sans serif. You're right. It doesn't. Let's try changing this to that and see what happens. Let's refresh. Maybe that was our problem. Yeah, good suggestion, Will. Scroll. Okay, better. Better, better, better. Not bad. And so we're seeing the different point sizes there. What I'm seeing, though, is a difference between the point sizes in PowerPoint and the point sizes outside of PowerPoint. And I'm pretty sure this is has to do with the way PowerPoint internally represents the values of everything. I think, if I'm recalling correctly, 960 is like a magic number inside PowerPoint. I think it thinks that the width is 960 pixels wide. But we want to go to, let's just run that as a possibility here for a second. I'm going to bring up my calculator here, and we're basically setting up a ratio here. So if we're at 960, 960 is to 1920, which is our real piece right there. Oh, it's just 1/2. So that means I double everything. Let's see if that's the case. That might be, in fact, the case. So let's go to our code, and when we're going to get our stat size, let's multiply that by 2. See what happens and see if we're seeing something more similar to this. So let's refresh. And I think that worked. Do a test scroll. And didn't work at all because I think it has to do with the conversion. So let's do this. So we're going to say, font size. That's a number. Hold on, number. Let's make this let, and that's equal to stat size times 2. And then this, I think, should fix the conversion problem. I think what was happening here is that we had an error here in that it thought I was doing math, and then the plus meant I was trying to add a number to it. So I think that's going to fix that. Come over here, refresh. I believe you can specify other units like EM. Oh, interesting. I'm not sure what EM is, though. I need to double check that. Let's try what this test scroll does. This time, is the font way too big? It's not way too big. It looks pretty close to what we're talking about. I want to make a few adjustments here, but it's not bad. So that's pretty cool. We've got some undefines in places that we want to fix. I want to take these abilities and drop them down by about 2 pixels, I think. So let's go do that. We're centering within my center point, which is good, but centering for text means both the tallest the text is and its descenders as well. And there are no descenders on numbers, so we don't need to, we're not really, with the exception of maybe a comma, which doesn't descend that much. So I'm going to drop that down a couple pixels. So let's do that. Let's go to, and let's also come in here and say, hey, if value is undefined, if value is not equal to undefined, then we're going to do this. We're going to draw it. Okay? So if we're not undefined, that's what we're going to do. What's wrong here? What am I... Do I have something... What do I have that's missing? Wait, my for each is in there. Hold on. Let me go back up here and make sure. I think I've got the... I have this in the wrong spot. I think I selected too far. Let's see if that looks better when I... No. What is wrong? All right, hold on. Let me just undo. Okay, so this is what I want to take. I want to take all of this. I thought I had it. It looked good to me. That to here. It does not like it. What is wrong? Did I just not have code that's right before? There's something clearly I'm doing that's wrong here. Where's the ending of that? It's there. I have code that's good here. This is like crazy to me. Something really stupid is going on here. I'm taking from here to here, and in this process right here, it just says everything's off to the side. Is it because I have an extra equals? Is that my problem? That was my problem. Okay. And so now all of this should go away. All of the squiggly underlines are gone. Okay, that was an indicator that I should stop coding soon. So if we're undefined, we're going to do that. Let's go back and find the, I think it was in, where was it? In character, in stat page right here, attribute top. We're going to drop this down a couple pixels. We're going to go put that at 5. And I think the mod offset, I'm going to drop this down as well to like, say, 33, maybe 34. Well, this is going to drop down. Let's just keep it at 32 for now and see what happens. So we'll come out here. We're going to refresh. What's going on here? Why won't this refresh? Empty cache and hard reload. Interesting. Not sure why. It's as if I'm in a breakpoint or something. All right, I'm going to kill it. We'll restart. Let's see. Kill all instance of Chrome. Yep. Thanks, Will. You saved me again. Why don't I just look whenever I've got a problem? I don't understand why I'm not looking at the chat room. That's what I should be doing. Starting up. So it's building. You can see it right there. While this is building, I want to do a search for. Wait, hold on. This is coming up. No, we're not going to restore the pages. I want to do a search for JavaScript get property type by name. Get the name of an object's type. That's what I want. Wait, I don't want class get name. The name of class foo is foo.name. So if I came in here, wait, what's happening here? Oh, yeah, this, I've got to look at this problem right here. I'm going to just keep running this. Oh, I guess it really wants me to fix it. Yeah, I've seen this viewer's null with some of the recent changes that I've made here. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So just name is what we need to do. Is what we need to do, which is kind of cool. So that means that in, let's go see how it looks first of all in our running app, which is here. Let's come and test scroll. You're saying type of? Pasted a link to the fonts that we can use. I see it, Will. Thank you. My argument is that I think I can use, you think it's not finding Calibri? Oh, maybe. I was thinking because it was on a local machine, it would find it and it would be totally cool. But maybe that's not the case. We should probably put that code back in there to see if Calibri is being found. That's in, where is it? Where were we? We were in stat scroll. Is that where we were? Yeah. We should pop this out again right afterwards. Oh, we are doing it. We are. Hold on. We're doing it. So all we have to do is just come over and refresh. Are you trying to get the name of the class? I want the what I think I want is I'm going to get from value.name. I think it's going to get me a number or Boolean, right, for this variable right here, I think. In fact, if I come in here and do a console log here for value.name, like that, I bet we'll, that's what I'm thinking we're going to see. So let's go, let me refresh over here a second, bring in the new one that we just created. We'll come up with a test scroll like that, smacks it in. And yeah, we got Calibri out there. And the value.name is always undefined. That's not what I was hoping for. Okay, use type of value for that. All right, so let's try that. We're going to grab type of value and see what we get. And pop out type of value, like that. Do we need parens around that, you think? Let's see how quickly we get this here. Boom. Number, nice. String, so I'm seeing number and string, excellent. And the sizes of these are looking good. There's Rory's name, Rorificent, Wood Elf Barbarian, Lawful Good. We're seeing the values go in the right spots. The modifiers are looking good too. I've got a +2. Oh, we need to change this so it does the color correctly. I think we can do that in a couple minutes. And we can also, the one hit die, the 1d10 is in the wrong spot though. That hit dice is not using left. We're like never getting to text align left apparently. Which, let's go figure out hit dice for a second here. Hit dice is not here. Is it stat page? Here we go. Hit dice. Oh, yeah. I did not put in text align left. No, text align dot left. Good. Okay. So there's hit dice is now left aligned where I want it to be. So that'll line itself up. All right. So let's go back into here where we're drawing it. We're going to come, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to come in. We're going to check to see if what to do with regard to the drawing. So we are going to, the fill style is going to be dependent on that. So we'll say if, not text align, but text display equals text display dot normal. Actually, let's not do normal. Let's do the exception here. We'll say plus minus. Then we're going to do something there. Otherwise, we're going to, we'll do that. I think we can come down here anyway and just have this one. So if it's plus or minus, then we want to say, well, if value is greater than 0, I think we can come in here and say value is equal to, no, wait, hold on. Let's create a string here. Value stir. I like this better. So we're going to come in here and say value stir is equal to, if it's greater than 0, we're going to need to put a plus out here in front of it. Plus a value, like that. Maybe a toString call here just to be very explicit. Come on, is there not a toString on it? Oh, interesting. Do I have to get like an any up here to get that? Now can I get a toString? No, nothing on value. Okay, so we'll just assume that that's going to work. I need to put that in braces because I also need to change the color. If we are in the positive, so what I want to do is come over here, take a screenshot, just zoom in on this, take a screenshot of this, come over into my image editor, which is missing because I've got, again, too many apps. There we go. Let's paste it in as a new image. Find out those. We're suggesting value, number, string, or Boolean. Oh, I did not know you could do this. Holy cow, that's awesome. Let's do that like crazy. Oh my God, I love that. That is really, wait, what? Oh wait, is it working? There we go, it's working. Okay, cool. Does that mean also here I can come in with that as well? Let's see. I think it does. That's super cool. Love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now we want to change our fill style right here. So if it's a plus, we want to use the blue. So let me grab that color. So we'll come in here. We'll get right in the middle, find out what I've used, get to the HTML code for that. That's the one thing, is that I don't get the HTML code from PowerPoint. So I got to kind of still use a second app to do that. Okay, so there is that. Else, we've got that. And we're going to come down and say value stir is equal. Well, we've already got a minus, so we're just, in this case, is equal to value. And then the fill style, we need to make it red. And the red is there. I feel like I can almost guess at this. Oh, I was going to say D0 because I saw the 192. I saw the RGB. Okay, there we go. So 192 is C. And there's value stir is equal to, but now I can call toString on this, I bet, can't I? Hot. Nice. Perfect. Brilliant. Brilliant. Awesome pair programming and assistance from Will. Thank you so much, Will. You know, I feel like you need one of those right there to make it official. Okay, so there's our colors we're getting. Otherwise, we're getting this color. Then we're going to pop in value stir is what we're going to do. So we're going to come in here and say value stir is there, I think. And I think that's it. Let's see what happens when we refresh. Refresh? Really? We're locked up again? What is going on with this locking? Yeah, nothing. I wonder if I did this. I can't even close it. Oh, yeah, there we go. I closed the tab. What if I brought it back up? Is it going to work or not? Test scroll, or do I think I need more running. Oh, it did work. We got a bunch of undefineds for the numbers, but look, the colored ones came in great. But why did these all come in undefined? Value stir is not being set here. It needs this right there. That's the missing piece. So let's refresh. Test scroll. Nice. Look at that. And the numbers come up, right? As we, here, let's show this again so you can see this. Because we're only drawing, we're not drawing all the numbers at once. So watch it as it comes down. Oh, come on. We don't refresh it? Wow. Why aren't we refreshing that? Why aren't we slamming it again? All right, let's go look at, let's change some code so that does work. And then we'll call it a day. So we want to come in here and we want to, let's say, clear. Create a function called clear. Go implement that. And we're going to say in here, oh, you know what? We're so close to variables, I'm going to just do this for now. So we're going to say this dot, no, not what I wanted to copy to the clipboard. This dot characters dot clear. What do I have here? Oh, it's just equal. I just declare it and that removes it, I think, is the fast way to do that, to remove all the entries. Pages, let's new array of stat page, so we did both of those. Then we're going to take both of these, or just, it's equal to open brackets is what Will is suggesting. And that won't change the type of it, right? So it's much simpler. Got it. Good, I love that too. Okay, so there's that. There's that. Let's get some of thises in front of this. Right there. So there's my two pages. And then this dot state is equal to none. And I think that's all I need for my clear. And so now let's come back over here. We're going to refresh it. Type another test scroll. And watch. Oh, that didn't work. What do we got? None is not defined. My bad. Scroll state dot none. That. Okay. Refresh one more time. Refresh test scroll. Boom. And now, okay, watch it one more time and let's look at the numbers. And we shouldn't see this 14 drawn until the scrolls open up past it. Yeah, or now the 10, whatever, right? It's because it's changing. Awesome. That's totally awesome. So what we've built, right? Very, very cool stuff here so far. We've essentially built live graphics, live intelligent data-driven graphics for a live show that's going to be able to come in when we change a character. It looks like we've got a celebratory orbit over here. Thanks over to Will. Yeah, that is going to be able to change live during the show. We've got more cool things that we're going to build with regards to this particular piece right here. But it's very exciting, right? We went from spec to implementation in a course of a couple days. And we've got don't forget our particle system too, right? Particle system putting that magic dust out there as it opens up, right? So we're drawing the magic dust over, we're drawing this background screen there, and we're putting in the numbers, whatever they are, in the right places. Still have a few more numbers to add, some more data, but we are definitely on our way. Give you a preview of kind of where I want to go. Really cool thing I want to do is when the Dungeon Master, so the Dungeon Master is going to have their own app, and the Dungeon Master will allow them to change numbers, for example. And when the Dungeon Master, for example, clicks on the armor class shield for a particular character, I want that armor class shield to kind of glow and highlight a little bit. So that way the Dungeon Master can say, oh, hey, oh yeah, great, you changed to page 2. I don't have page 2 built yet, Will. You're just making me look bad. Well, look at this. What's going on with this? I think this, uh-oh, that's not good. But is that because, what is that? What is causing that? All right, we got a bug to fix, but I'm not going to fix it now. I'm wondering if it's because of this right here, sending all of these out. I'm not sure. Let's try it. Let's try that as just a quick fix. We'll take out those console logs, see if we can reproduce this. Let's see, where was that? That was here, I think, at the end of this piece. Like that. So type of is gone. Let's come over here, refresh. Let's try to do test scroll and do test blue ball. And then we want to say test page 1, no, page 2. And then test page 1. Test page 2. There's a little, I see the frame rate drop when we switch to from page 1 to page 2. But I'm kind of okay with that for now. Blue ball has got a lot of dots that it's managing, and so does the magic that's coming up. And we can optimize the emitter, maybe find ways to change its timing on that. But when you have a lot of elements that are out there, that's kind of what's going on there. So I think it doesn't slow down as much as it was before because we took out those console log messages. But I think we're okay. In general, we're not, if we go to say like test solo, like this, and then we go back to say test page 2, boom, the performance is what we're expecting it to be. So we're just dealing with, basically what we're dealing with is, we'll suggest a need to optimize vector. On emitter, by the way, so I haven't talked about this, but there's a way to optimize that we are not doing, I think, and that is that for each one of these particles, we are drawing a brand new, we're doing a begin stroke, I think is what it's called, and then we're drawing an arc and drawing a circle, and then we're essentially ending it by calling a new begin stroke, right? So we are doing this all over the place, but it's possible to optimize by color. If we were to take the color, we could do all these begin stroke. We do a begin stroke once, draw all the particles of that color at the same time, and then go to, then grab the next color and do the same thing. And I think that would result in a noticeable performance increase. Will Bennett says, can use Path 2D. I'm not familiar with that enough to comment on it now. We can take a look at it. The thing I was going to say, though, is when the Dungeon Master clicks on something, like say he wants to talk, you've got to make a dexterity saving throw. The Dungeon Master can click on dexterity. And then what I want is I want this in the online live, overlay display to become highlighted. And then I want to use our particle system to then have magical dust particles just very slowly come out from it continuously as long as it's highlighted. So I want to have essentially an animated highlight that's natural looking. And it's pretty cool in terms of what I have in my head, and I think it'll look cool when we implement it. So, and I want to play with that. So that's kind of where we're headed. So we've got some Signal R coming up. We've got to connect the app the Dungeon Master has to this. So we'll have some Signal R so they can communicate. We need to support multiple pages and switching characters. And character images, those kinds of things are things we got to bring up. So that's what's coming up. By the end, this thing is going to be, it's going to look so friggin' professional, I think, right? When it's a next player's turn, you're going to see this thing, a new scroll slam down with that character's image up there, and everything is going to look amazing, and very little effort on the part of the Dungeon Master to run the show, and it'll look good. So that's it. Let's give away a copy of CodeRushed because it's time
CodeRushed giveaway
for CodeRushed giveaway, and today's winner is Orgbrat. I always feel like I'm lying whenever I do this because there's really nothing that I'm looking at. I just do it for the show because it feels like I'm looking at that thing that comes down. There's no confetti. It's all an illusion. It's all a lie. Orgbrat, I will be sending you a direct message via Twitch telling you how you can get your copy of CodeRushed. Congratulations. Will Bennett, thanks as usual. Super appreciate your all the assistance. Some seriously high quality suggestions today. Things I did not know about that improved our code. So definitely love that. And we will see you next Tuesday.